Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Total Takeover Jam Session. I'm Andrew Morgan in San Marcos, Texas. Today's topic, we're talking about, are you following up and following through with your prospects, the importance of that, how to do it, and all items related to that. So if you would like to call in and join our show, you can call 712-775-7035. The access code is 213-884-POUND. And then you press *6 and follow the prompt in order to raise your hand and come in live as a caller on our show. 712-775-7035 is the number to call. Access code 213-884-POUND and press *6 to come on as a live caller. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Carl, and let's have an awesome hangout.
Awesome, thanks. And hopefully I don't, kick out of here and everything powers down. I'm on a different PC, so it shouldn't happen.
Okay.
And we do want everybody calling in, so you don't have to listen to me for the next hour and stuff. So we do have other panelists on here, and I'll try and let them talk a little bit more. But thanks for showing up again here today. We're gonna have some fun, I hope, like we normally do on the Hangouts. Today's topic: following up and following through with your prospects, your leads. And this is probably the biggest issue that I would say that we probably have in this industry is most people don't know what they need to do. Okay, so we're gonna have all the panelists here weigh in on what they feel we need to do. I'm gonna start it off with the basic simples. We kind of got there yesterday before I kind of went into oblivion someplace and never came back. But what we're going to talk about is basically the simplicity of following up with everybody. The one thing that it can take, it seems like anyways, forever to get leads to come in. And the worst thing that happens is that they can disappear in a snap of a finger. Okay, just like that. It's like having your own store. You can advertise and advertise and advertise for people to come in, but the moment they come into your store and you don't greet them and you ignore them, they're gone, and that customer is gone forever. And the worst part is that the viral effect kicks in of, don't bother going to that store because they just completely ignore you there. So what's the point? It's the same thing with programs. You come and you join a program, and I hear this every day. I had 3 people say this today. My sponsor hasn't talked to me. I don't know what to do, blah, 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 right? That's the same thing. What did they say to me? I wish I joined with somebody else that actually cared about me. And this is happening too much in this industry. This is why black marks get put on to companies and stuff. It's not that it's done purposely. It's that people are not educated enough. You got to remember, most people that come to network marketing are coming to network marketing because they are trying to make their life better. Maybe they're in a low-paying job that's just the money's just not covering the bills. They have more month at the end of the money, right? And that's what happens with most people. So they're coming online in desperation to make some more money. Maybe they just got laid off, can't find any money or any job out there to make any money. So they're coming here hoping that they can find a way to supplement their income. Now, the thing that we got to avoid is putting those people into a downspin on what this whole industry is all about. The last thing we want them doing is saying, oh, I'm getting scammed, or nothing ever works. I keep paying money and I never make any money. Okay? Here's the news I have for everybody out there. Okay? There are very few programs online that are actually scams. Very few of them. Okay? What you see online is this. You will see companies that will come out with great products and a terrible, terrible comp plan. Or they'll come out with mediocre products and a very complex comp plan. Or you'll have some that have great products and a mediocre comp plan. This is what it boils down to. If you do not know the basics on how to build a business, okay? This is not going to work and putting in your 8 hours and getting your paycheck every 2 weeks. This is not going and working for somebody else where you're guaranteed a paycheck to come in, whether you sit at your desk and put your feet up and do nothing, okay? You've now entered a different realm, okay? You've entered the realm of the entrepreneur or the business owner, okay? This is where you create your income. That income can be anything you want it to be. There is unlimited income in Total Takeover that you can make. Some programs have a max out income, regardless of what that is. Without having the proper training and mentoring and follow-up on a consistent basis, none of that's ever going to happen, okay? So I've kind of covered a little bit here about it, but it's all boiling down to what you do, okay? If you're not learning, you can't teach, okay? And that's what it boils down to. And we have too many people in this industry that are falling into the category of the blind leading the blind, okay? And that's what causes the high-end failure in this industry. And it's not the failure of the companies that's out there, it's the failure of the individuals who are not taking the time to learn this industry and learn what they need to do. To being persuaded and lured into the realm of misconception and everything else that's out there, because they're getting caught into this spillover concept or don't do anything concept. That doesn't exist in the entrepreneur world. It doesn't. Okay? We've mentioned how some of these certain things are gifts, and that's all that they are. Okay? In Total Takeover, we have 2 compensation plans. Okay? We have one that takes work, okay, to make the money. We have a secondary one, Pay Plan 2, which actually requires work as well, but it's what we call a safety net. It's for those people that are out there working their business, but they're slow starters, okay? That's what that's for. This is not a friggin' lounge that you go and hang out in and wait for money to fall from the sky, okay? And that's the misconception that everybody has. I actually had to straighten out one of my referrals today who was putting out, was going to put out an email, wanted me to read it, saying, oh, we're going to get thousands of spillover from people. And I'm saying, are you going to do that? Oh, no, the company is. No, the company's not going to do that. The company is there to provide the core of what the business is. They've provided all the resources and the products for you. You are maybe I need to go sales rep for the company. You're out there to promote the products and services of whatever company you're for, and then they pay you accordingly. That's how it is. You know, network marketing is no different from your standard brick and mortar business. We're just in a digital form in a lot of cases. This company is in digital form. There's others that have actual physical products and stuff like that out there. However, everything is still the same. When you work, you get paid. When you don't work, in most cases, you don't get paid. Okay? In our case, you can get paid if you don't do a bit of work at the beginning. But our Pay Plan 2, okay, although when it fills up, it pays out $2,046 a month, that is the smallest amount of money you will make in this company. The smallest. Okay? This is a 5, 6, and 7-figure business that you can make, that a sales rep, whatever you want to call it, will make. So the whole idea of our topic today of follow up and follow through with your leads is from day one, you need to follow up with them, you need to call them. You need to get them into the process of the learning pattern of the stuff that we have in our back office. Okay? There's many leaders out there, myself included, that have built things, patterns and supplied ad copy for people who want it. So, I've said a lot right now, and you're probably bored of me. So we're going to go over to someone who you really don't get bored that too much with. Okay? And that's going to be Tracy. So let's hand it over to Tracy, because she's always someone that everybody wants to listen to and get away from me. So over to you, Tracy.
Oh, Carl, not true. You know what? You said so many great things this morning, and I'm really glad that you laid sort of a platform of what things are and what things are not, because I think that's a really great place to start. And you know, a lot of times people will sign up for something. They'll see a link. They'll see, you know, you got to even wonder what people read and how they process it in their minds. It's like they'll sign up for everything. I mean, people will tell me they're in like 20 different programs and they haven't got a clue what any one of them is. So, you know, their failure rate is 100% because they haven't put in even 10% of work into any one of them. And, you know, they expect a paycheck. I mean, if we go to the traditional job world, you know, if you applied for a job and you got to work, you know, you might have to put some money into, you know, shirts and shoes and professional wear to be able to even show up for the job if you get hired for it. And then you're going to have to put in at least 2 weeks worth of work, or maybe even 4 weeks worth of work before you're going to even see a paycheck. You know, you have to show up, you have to learn the job first of all, and then, you know, if your performance is good, you know, if you got really good performance, sometimes you'll get bonuses as well. This is no different. I mean, it's all about learning what to do, and it amazes me how many times I have people ask me questions, and it's the same question sometimes over and over again, that they'll ask me, and I just keep referring them back. Go log into your back office, go to the home page, watch the video. And they'll come back and ask me a similar question, and I will repeat. It's like copy and paste. Go log into your back office, go watch the video. And then they'll say, but my upline said something. And then, you know, I say, well, obviously your upline watched the video, right? But you know what? It's funny because people, and I had someone say that to me this once, that they said, I said, well, go watch this, or go look at your website, go to this, and they said, well, I don't have time. And I said, well, isn't that interesting that you have the time to come and ask me because I've taken the time to do it. However, you're not taking the time and focusing on what your business is and taking that business seriously. You know, that's what we do as professional marketers, professional network marketers, is the very first thing you do is learn what you have. Go learn your website, go and log in every day, make sure that you see what the upgrades are, what the new changes, especially with us right now, because these guys are working so fast and furiously behind the scenes. I mean, they're up till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're up again with a couple of hours sleep back at it again. You guys have no idea. For, you know, the general population has never had a behind-the-scenes view of what this industry is like about creating a company. And Carl, you're very, very right about what's a scam and what isn't. A lot of companies do come out with the right intent, whether it be product, pay plan. Sometimes they just don't have business experience. They're great marketers, but they don't have the corporate type experience, and the companies will implode. Some do it purposefully, yes. I mean, we've seen those. They move the goalposts on you. But you know what? It's this industry is different than the traditional business world. But however, it's also very similar. So you know, there's a lot of things that you have to learn through the process. But it does amaze me that there are people out there that really have no idea what they've signed up for. And I mean, those kind of people, you know, they just need to give their head a shake. If they want to be successful, then they got to really just, you know, they got to come to the table at least willing to learn. However, on the flip side of that coin is that it is about first impressions, and that first impression is when somebody signs up on your link, whether you ignore them, whether you actually do you know, call them up and welcome them, whether you send them a welcome email, whether you take the time to phone, leave a voice message with a real friendly voice message, say, hey, you know, introducing yourself. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but you know what? We have the tools. Just point them in the right direction as long as they know they've got human touch. That's what this industry is based on. It's all about the process of them going, you know, knowing that they're included and that there's somebody there that really cares. And, you know, affiliate marketing is very different. You're out there to do a one-off sale. Somebody's going to click on your website. They're going to see a product. They're going to buy it. Sayonara, see you later. This is different. This is an industry based on a whole bunch of people just doing a little bit. And the misconception a lot of times is with people is they need to have 500 people on their front line, and that's sales. It's not network marketing. Network marketing and leadership is about, working with a few people and assisting them through the process and developing them into leaders so that they can do the same. And that's the unfortunate thing in this industry, as we've seen, is this craziness of people just going and signing people up and then dropping them, signing them up and dropping them, trying to get that first sale. Well, you know what? This is about residual income. And if you really take the time to understand how that residual income works and how this industry is built, and you build those relationships with a handful of really good people, you could build a dynasty. It would just grow forever and ever and ever. But if you don't understand that process and about being able to come to the table with some really good social skills, then you know what? You need to go back to school and learn. Go through Facebook, start talking to people, start learning to have intelligent conversations, fun conversations, be engaging, ask people about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. Ask good questions, you'll get good answers. That's the quality of the question will be the quality of your answer. You know what? That's what you need to do. Why are you here? Ask the question. You know what? What did you see with Total Takeover that prompted you to actually fill in the form? What are you looking for in this industry? What are you doing currently? Ask all the right questions so that people know you care. You have their best interest at heart, not your best interest at heart. It's not about your sale. It's about what they're looking for ultimately in change, whether it's they're out of a job or whatever the case may be. And so this is why people get buyer's remorse. They'll pay for something and then they'll say, oh, they don't really know what it is. The first impression is that nobody called them. They don't know who they are. They're just another one of those people set up to fail one more time in this industry because nobody showed them what to do next. I mean, as veterans like we all are here, we know that the steps are to go and self-educate ourselves. Go learn what's on your website. Go learn what the tools are. And you couldn't be in a better platform here that we have because of all the most companies will set up with their products, their pay plan, but they never offer you the means to be able to be successful with actually marketing and the self-development. And that self-development is the most important component to this industry. And when people finally get that, that's when your paycheck follows. Like you say, it's a follow-up, follow-through process. And the process really begins with you. It doesn't begin with your prospect. It begins with you understanding what your role is in this industry and being able to lead people and show people, direct people, point people in the right directions, point them back to the website, point them that as soon as you open your mouth in this industry, you are teaching people the business. So if you tell people everything from A through Z, right there and then, people will say to you, I can't do this business. I can't do what you've just done. Right? I mean, nobody can duplicate Val. He is a superstar. What he can do on those presentations, nobody I know on this planet can duplicate what he does. His mind just works so magnificently, and the way that he paints the word pictures, I can't do that. And I don't think anybody else can do that the way he does either. However, you know how to invite. You know how to bring people to the presentation. Let him do the work for you. All you need to do is follow up and know that they are connected to a team. And a really great team. And we have the Hangouts here for the other tools. And, of course, we've got all the other tools, the Jack Sufelt interview. I know lots of you actually listened to that today. We were talking about that earlier. I mean, Jack, let's put that in perspective. I mean, you're going to get the best training in the absolute planet. I mean, Jack was just elected as motivational speaker of the decade alongside Tony Robbins, for heaven's sakes. I mean, that's the quality of the people that are coming as a trainer to this company, and Jack's so excited about being here. So, you're going to have that education and training that everybody needs, and I don't care how far up the chain you are. everybody can benefit, whether you're at the top of the chain or you're just a brand new guy getting into this industry. You know what? We can listen to. I've listened to Jack's interview 3 times, all hour and 35 minutes of it, and every time I listen to it, I get more out of it. He's just so dynamic. I've had the opportunity of talking with him personally on a few occasions, and he is very, very gifted and very excited about being part of this project with us. And I mean, holy smokes! I mean, when you're getting the best of the best in the industry, the only way you can fail is to either quit or never show up. You know, if you ever wanted something so bad in your life to be at the right place, the right time, with the right people, and the right opportunity, the right pay plan, and everything, this really is, I hate using the term over and over again, but it's the perfect storm. It's what everybody has dreamt about and wished for and could only dream about in this industry for probably their lifetime in the business, that we have that right now. So, you know, all you need to do is share that. Share your passion. Share your understanding of the opportunity from your perspective about this. These are people who care. And just say, look, you're part of a fantastic team right now, and congratulate yourself for seeing that. And you know what? I just want to make sure that you're getting all the right information. It's as simple as that. But you have to pick up the phone. You have to engage with people and make them know that you genuinely care about them. And this company genuinely cares about the people. They really do. From an individual basis, and you heard that on one of the hangouts that we had with Dave and with Val that we did. And I mean, Dave teared up. He had me in tears, and I know everybody else. Carl, you showed your emotion about how much we care about people. We all have, and it's heartfelt. We wear our hearts on our sleeves here. So you know, if people don't choose not to show up, you know, I think down the road they're going to say, you know, I missed the opportunity of a lifetime. And you know, it's our job to make sure that we get the information to people so that they don't miss it, because we do care about people. So, anyways, Carl, back to you.
You know, Tracy, you talked about quite a bit of good stuff, especially like with Jack. You know, we did talk about that in some of the rooms that were in the Skype rooms and stuff, and I listened to him for the first time. I hadn't heard that interview before, and I listened to it. And, you know, this is actually, his interview is going to be actually one of my must-dos with anybody that they must go and listen to this when they join my team, okay? You know, I'm a lot more, I'm not as lenient as I used to be. I'm a little bit more strict now with the people that I want to work with, and the reason for that is that we can't help people that don't want to be helped. So the people that don't want to be helped, there's no sense in spending any time with them, because it's a waste of time for both parties, right? And Jack actually talks about that kind of situation in his interview. You know, he talks about, you know, how he was a rebel and how he had to go through different changes and thought patterns and stuff, where listening to people who were successful was the only way that made him successful, okay? So if we start listening to people who do nothing but complain about their lives and how bad things are, and you know, don't think about how they can change them. Look, I have no problem listening to people who have situations that they're in, but they also have to be willing to listen to how to change that into a so that situation no longer exists. That's what people have to want. Unfortunately, online today, we have so many people in our industry that have been jaded, that have been robbed, that have been misled, that have been down the wrong roads in this industry because of whatever circumstance they got themselves into. And then they ended up in a financial crisis, whatever that might be. The only way to change that, people who are listening to this, is to take charge and give yourself permission. I can't do it. Tracy can't do it. Joan can't do it. Andrew, nobody can do that but you. You have to step up to the plate and decide enough is enough. Okay? It doesn't matter how many people that are under you, how many people that are above you, beside you, or whatever. None of that will ever impact you in a positive manner until you give yourself permission to succeed. That means changing your mindset from the negative thought pattern to the positive thought pattern. Okay? And again, you know, I've said this before, it's going to be very painful. It's going to be a painful few weeks for you to get through that. Because you're going to struggle with yourself. You know, you're going to struggle. Oh, this doesn't work. It doesn't work. Then that's the roadblocks we talk about. And you're going to have a lot of them. You know, the path of A over here to B over here, okay? It's not a straight line, okay? It's a very jagged road, okay? You can almost compare it to whatever they call those EKGs or whatever, where they go like this. They check your vital statistics, okay? That's kind of the road that we're on. It goes like that. But in the middle of those, we have a bunch of these blocks that are there that we got to get around, okay? And it's going to be frustrating, okay? It's always going to be frustrating. You're never going to have a smooth ride. And if you do find one, please tell me, because I want that smooth ride. I've never seen it in my career, and I would love to have it, but I know it doesn't exist. So I'm just trying to share that with you. Sorry, I got a cold. So, but you know, the follow-up and follow-through is very simple. It starts with a basic. Here's an example. I can go onto Facebook, and I'll go and I'll connect with somebody. Like, you know, I'll go into a group and I'll connect with somebody. I'll go and I'll look at some of their posts, and I'll make a brief comment on their posts. You know, I'll look at what it is and give them a comment. You know, if it I don't want to go on here because I'm on a different computer here today, so I don't know what will happen. So I'm scared to do anything on here until I get it sorted out. But I do have some examples on that site, and you can get that site for me if you want it. It's a generic site. There's no join links or anything like that on there. It's just all basic ad copy, okay? But basically what I provide is just basic things. So you could go into a group on Facebook, for instance, and see a post of somebody there and make a brief comment on it and go, hey, you know, why don't we connect? You know, feel free to friend me as well. You know, and when people come to friend me, because I get friend requests every single day, here is the simple line that gets everything started. You know what that line is? It's, hey, so-and-so, thanks for connecting. That's how simple it is. Thanks for connecting. Next thing you know, they're texting me back saying, hey, Carl, great connecting. What do you do? Hey, great question. But let's just stop before we get into that. Let's just say, you know, what is it that you do online? What brings you to Facebook? You know, create that conversation. Okay? Get to know people within the first few lines of content. The next thing I do is I get them on my Skype. Okay? And then we'll text a little bit on Skype, which then leads to a phone call. But at that point in time, we've already got to know each other. It's not a cold call anymore. It's what we call a warm market call. And now you get on the phone and you start having a conversation, talking about whatever. Okay? Business will flow in. Don't rush it. Okay? This is why so many people never get anywhere online, is they want to go straight for the jugular every single time. You know, you may as well put a mask on there, cut some holes, put a mask there. You know, get yourself a black suit, cat suit or something. Go in there, get yourself a bag and a knife, and just go right to their throat and say, "Put your wallet in here." You know, if that's what you want to do, you know, you're being no better than anybody else out there. That's why it's so important from day one, when your lead opts into your capture page, the first thing you should do, if they don't leave a phone number, there's going to be an email there. Send them an email. If they didn't put their right email in there, you know what you do? Screw them and delete it. Okay? That's what you do. Because if they don't have the balls to put all the right information in there for you to contact them, they don't have any right anywhere near your business, period. Okay? And Yep, I said it. Okay? But let's face it. Let's be honest here. Okay? I have people that have opted into my TTO business with their name of being Tom Jones and Tom Jones Hero or at gmail.com. Well, right then and there, I don't even pay attention to that. Or how about this phone number? 1-000000000. Yeah, that's a good phone number. That, you know, there must be a million people that have that phone number out there, right? Try phoning the operator and saying, do you have the number for this? Right? Come on. These are the type of people that don't deserve to be involved in any kind of business because they're screwing around with you and your business. Okay? So now we get that out of the way. So the simple thing is, of those people there, you want to send them a very, very brief email saying, hey, it's Carl. I'm your sponsor in TTO. So glad to work with you. Right? Let's get connected. Here's my information. Here's my Skype, my phone number, my Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Let's get connected and let's get you on your way working with TTO. Let's start building a successful team. Okay? Now you've thrown the ball to them. It's up for them now to reciprocate back. Very, very simple. You know, you don't get on the phone and say, oh, let me tell you all about TTO. It has this. You know what? You don't do that. That's not your job. Your job is to welcome people to this program and then direct them to the resources, such as the webinars that Val does. He does a very, very good job in presenting this business. You could come to the Hangout and hang out with Psycho Carl and his friends. You could do that. We do give some information, good information on here. You just got to put up with some fanatics and stuff that's on here. That's all. But you know, we do come here every single day to help you and the people that you refer to this business get going in your business. Okay? So that's my little bit here. Let's go over to Joan because again I talk too much again. So let's go over to Joan, okay? And Joan, make sure you get everything out so I don't take your thunder away, okay? And then we're gonna have to get to Andrew before the show ends. So over to you.
Okay, you and Tracy covered the bases so thoroughly. I don't have much more to say. So I'm going on a different take on this. You covered it a little bit, Trace, and so have you, Carl, but I wanted to expand on relationship building because I feel that's very, very important. I remember you just made a comment, Carl, about going into a store and nobody would approach you and you turned around and walked out and decided you'd never go back. That happened to me when we lived in Windsor. We went into the mall and they had a new dress shop that just had opened, and I was the only one in the store at that moment. There were 4 sales girls standing behind the counter chatting away to each other about what they did the night before, and I stood there and waited 20 minutes and they never came and approached me. I went up to the desk and I said, you know what, ladies? Because you would not give attention to your customers, you just lost one. And I turned around and walked out of that store and I never went back. So that is so, so important. Being ignored is one of the things that if you ignore your people that opt in and you don't follow up, you're killing your business right from the get-go. It's like, I remember when I was younger, and I had a guy that I really, really liked. And he really, really liked me. We met through his sister, and the very first date we connected. We were every single night after that for a year. We every day saw each other, and that relationship grew and blossomed, and a year later we were married. What if you meet somebody that you really like, or vice versa, and they give them your phone number and you exchange phone numbers and say you're going to stay in touch, and you don't hear from him again for months. And then he's gone through his little black book and he says, oh, Joan, I haven't talked to her for a while, I'm going to give her a call. What is my response going to be? First thing when I pick up that phone and I hear his voice, I'm going to say, get lost, and hang up. Because there's nothing there. I formed no relationship with this person. I don't know anything about him. He doesn't know anything about me except he's got my phone number. That's going to go a long way in forming a relationship. If you hear from somebody maybe once every 6 months, you are building a business. You want to connect with people because that's where it all starts. It's all about relationship building. It's follow through, not just follow up one time. Follow through means that this is an ongoing thing. This isn't just something that's hit and miss, maybe once a month, or you're just thinking, you know what, he's not doing very well. I think I'll just give him a call after he's been in the business for 5 months and sat on his in front of his computer and done nothing. Maybe it's your fault that he's done nothing. Because what have you done to encourage him to move forward in the business? What have you done to follow through, to keep this person motivated, to have him learn from him what his weaknesses are so you can help him move forward? This is really what network marketing is all about. That's why it's called network marketing. It's not just, bring somebody in and let them die. If you do, it's your fault you haven't succeeded in this business because this is paramount. We're in a people business. It's a know, like, and trust business. Carl is my sponsor. And I got to know him in another program that I was in. I've known Tracy for years, and she's my upline. And I love her so much because these two people have done so much to help me grow and build because they care. They really care, and they show they care. If you're only hit and miss and getting involved with the people in your business, and you might contact them maybe once or twice a year, are you really telling them that you know, you like, and you care about them? Absolutely not. You're sending the wrong message. I'm sorry. So get with the program. If you're in network marketing, do what network marketers do. If you can't do that, then get out of the business and go work as a greeter at Walmart, because maybe then you'll start learning some people skills, because that's what being a greeter at Walmart is all about. If they just stand there like dumb lumps and never say hi to anybody or aren't there to help, then they're not going to last there for very long either. So you know what? Really, really important. Don't play with this business. If you're not serious, if you're not going to work with people, if you're not going to move your team forward by being there for them, then your business is not going to make it, so you might as well go do something else. Even since I've met Andrew, I cannot believe how much he's helped me. We all work together as a team, helping each other. And if you want to succeed, you have to do the same thing.
Thanks, Joan. You talked about a few different topics there. One thing I want to just kind of add on to, when you mentioned that, if you hadn't talked to somebody in 5 months, maybe that's why they haven't done anything. It might be that they've been actually trying to do something, but really didn't know what the hell they were doing. So that's the other part about it. I mean, we can't just assume either, and I know some of us do. We can't just assume that people, that have joined us in this business are not doing anything. They might be doing lots. They might be spending 8 hours a day at their computer doing absolutely the wrong thing. Okay, and that is part of the whole process of following through. If you can't do it, if you don't have the skill set yourself, then you need to call on the people within your upline until you get to somebody. And if they're not in your upline, go sideline. Go to somebody else in the company. Find out what you need to do. Find some, I'm not talking about joining them, I'm talking about going to them to get the information. Let me clarify that before I start telling people to start jumping. That's not what I'm telling people to do. I saw Tracy's eyes and she's going, Carl, watch what you're saying. Okay, here's what I'm saying, okay, because I've done this. You know, you are in a position, first of all, you're in a position in your, wherever you've been sponsored, wherever you've joined, you're locked in there. That's where you stay, okay? The other thing that I really am so highly against, and I need to bring this up because now I'm touching on this, is that jumping from sponsor to sponsor. That does not get you anywhere in any business. As a matter of fact, it will ruin your reputation, okay? So let's get this straight. Here we are, we've got myself, Tracy, Joan, and Andrew, okay? We may not have anything to do with your downline or anything like that. We may not even be in your downline, your upline, or anything like that. But we're here to give you the training, the motivation, and the guidance that you need to get going in your business. If your sponsor can't do it and their sponsor and so forth, you find somebody within the organization that can help you grow your business, okay? Going from sponsor to sponsor is not a fix in any business. As a matter of fact, you could have a prime position where you are now, you leave and you go to somebody else, and now you're down 1,500 levels where you should have been. It has nothing to do with spillover or anything like that in business, folks, okay? I know I got off topic, but I brought it up. I need to finish what I'm doing here, okay? Everything that happens in your business happens from you down. Anything that falls within your business is a gift, period, okay? So it's not about going from one sponsor to another and to another, because you could go from one sponsor to another, they could promise you everything in the world, and next thing you know, you're in a worse position than you were in the last one, okay? Because they just ignored you because they just wanted you over here. What we're trying to tell you is that we are a resource. This is a resource to help you build your business, okay? You know, there was a lady last week that phoned in. Her name was Karen. Okay, and she phoned in, and she was having some difficulty. So I don't know who Karen's sponsor is. Doesn't matter to me. She reached out for help, so I reached out to her to help her. Do I care about compensation? No. You know what I care about? I care about Karen making some money. Because if Karen makes some money, that puts a feather in my cap that I actually helped somebody. Okay? And that's what we're all here to do. We're all here to help everybody make money. We're all going to make money, no matter how we look at it. The more the company grows, the more money everybody's going to make. Okay? So let's get that off the table right now, because I knew Tracy was about to friggin' put me over her knee. So I needed to make sure that I cleaned that up. Okay? So, you know, we're almost out of time. I don't know. Should we go over to Andrew? You know, you've been waiting all time here. Okay, Andrew, let's go over to you, bud.
Thank you, Carl. Wow, it's been an awesome hangout so far. We're right about 15 minutes of the top of the hour. We have callers. I'm going to talk a little bit, and I think you're going to want to take out a pen and paper. Tracy and I have our pen and paper out. And you're probably going to want to take out a pen and paper. I'm going to attempt to make some sense of this, and I'm going to try to not talk too fast, but I'm going to talk fast enough to where you're going to have to come back and rewatch the video, because I want you to study this. I want you to study everything that's been said on this video from all the panelists so far, including what I'm about to say. So I'm going to say it pretty fast. If you want to raise your hand, if you're a caller, we have callers. If you want to raise your hand and ask questions or have comments, you can do so now. Press *6 and follow the prompt, and I will get with you and bring you on for your comments or questions after I'm done. Okay, so here we go. You ready? You have your pen and paper handy. Let's make some sense. Think that follow-up, follow-through has to do with your prospects? And do you think it has to do with a particular action inside of your daily method of operation? I want to show you something. Let's just break down the words. Okay, the word follow. Of course, we all know what words are, right? Until we go to read definitions, and then we learn that what we thought we knew is not quite what we thought we knew sometimes. Okay, so the word follow. Of course, that's like go or come after, move or travel behind. So that would mean after somebody else or behind somebody else or behind something else. Okay, let's just absorb this stuff right quick. Okay, we've got through. Okay, through is moving in one side and out of the other. Like a channel or a location or whatever. Continuing in time toward completion of a process or a time period. Okay, that's the definition of through. Let's talk about follow through. Now, the analogy that the Google definition has for follow through is it is in reference to sports, which that's fitting and that's apropos because this is my sport. I'm not working. I'm fishing. I'm having fun. My sport is looking for the next person that I can cultivate into a leader in whatever area of money or fun that I'm operating in at the moment in team building. Here's the definition for follow through. In golf, baseball, and other sports, it continue one's movement after the ball has been struck or thrown. Okay? So I want to submit to you that follow-up is actually follow through, and it has nothing really to do with your prospect. Let me put that in for me, okay? I want to put it to where you can't argue with me because you can't argue with experience. Let me say it like this. I understand that follow up is actually follow through, and it really has nothing to do with my prospect. The reason that I say that is because if I'm thinking that it has to do with my prospect, then the responsibility is on the prospect and how I handle that, whenever it's actually how I build myself and handle myself from start to finish, just like the definitions. So follow through really has to do with me, and whenever I hit the ball of filling out that data capture saying I want to find a way to make money, then I have to come after somebody else and some other system that's proven and do what that system says. Now we're getting into the ABCs. So Carl alluded to him being strict earlier, and I understand that. To me, I call it posturing. To me, for me to be strict, you won't like that at all, and I'll chase everybody away. But for me to posture means for me to be lovingly, professionally, in requiring. I require today, and I'm only in Carl's sense of the word strict with the people who are my volunteer army. So we're building a volunteer army here. We're building a culture of a volunteer army, and the only ones that I will be strict with are the ones that say, yes, Andrew, I am ready to do the A, do B, do C. And then in that sense of the word, I'm strict because we make a contract that I'm going to lead and you're going to follow, and because I'm following, and then we create that what the industry likes to call duplication. It's not duplication, it's actually replication and willingness to do what the team is doing. So it's not duplication. It's never exact, but it's, because we all have our own personality, but it gets close. So what we're talking about here is perspective and building blocks, and we want to relax and absorb. So we're looking for do A, do B, do C, but there's a lot of different perspectives. So we'll hear this perspective and that perspective and that perspective and get information overload and confused. Whenever really, if we can just sit and relax and absorb all the information and then go back to what Carl mentioned a while ago, get with your sponsor or your upline leader and find out the do A, do B, do C that your team is doing and replicate that in order to create that culture where the whole team is doing the same thing, basically. Okay? So that's just a suggestion. Now, as we relax and absorb perspectives, okay, I'm giving another perspective here. And if you're trying to do what Tracy said, trying to do what Joan said, trying to do what Carl said, and then trying to do what I say, then that's kind of like a confusion. So let's just take it a minute, take a deep breath, take a few notes, and relax and just be part of the family, and we're just talking, okay? We're just having a conversation, and we're moving toward helping you figure out what you're going to do. Do A, do B, do C, collect cash, okay? So we've talked about perspective and the building blocks, and that's versus do A, do B, do C. Now what I want to talk about is the lottery mentality versus the you are somebody mentality. We experience a lot of people come into this industry with the lottery mentality. I'm going to sign up with this, and maybe it's going to happen. Maybe I can get the right people, and they'll go to work, and I'll get lucky. Okay, or if that didn't work, here's the next one. Or my sponsor didn't help me do that. I'm going to get a different sponsor in this company to help me do that. Okay, what Carl alluded to a while ago. So that's the lottery mentality. Whenever what we need to be focusing on is that you are somebody. Eric Worre talks about this. You are somebody. Now, what you want to do in order to get where you are desiring going with network marketing is understand that you're somebody, but you got to become somebody else. So we have to work on ourselves. I have to become somebody else. Okay. So my experience working with prospects and not just prospects, but people that get registered and say, okay, I'm ready to go. I'll say, okay, you ready to go? And they'll say, yes, I'm ready to go. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. I'll say, okay. Now, even though you burn out all your contacts, the first thing you want to do A, is go to all your contacts that you know that are network marketers and expose them to your business, total takeover business. And instantly I hear but. Okay? Now, I like to teach that going to your friends and family is really dysfunctional. It's very dysfunctional. But going to people that you know are in the network marketing industry that have joined and quit and joined and quit and joined and quit, and people you have introduced to businesses before and that the company absconded with the money, go back to those people. Because let me tell you what, I had somebody introduce to me a concept that they had introduced a concept prior to, and it went sour. But they introduced a new concept to me, and had they not introduced this new concept to me, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I want my inviter to not qualify for me, the opportunity that comes across their desk. Okay? Branson says this: if somebody gives you an opportunity, you take it and run with it. All right? Don't qualify that opportunity for me. You're cheating me when you do that. I want you to invite me. And I have people inviting me all the time. I will let you know right up front if my plate's full and I don't have time to look at anything. Okay? I'm cheating myself that way, but at least you've invited me. Okay? So, I've had students say that, I'm ready to go, but they won't go and talk to all the people that they've already been involved with in the past. And that's one way to get launched quickly before you get the education. Now, we have an educational product here and a system that I'm a student of. And I'm working on becoming proficient with. It's not even completely in place yet. But you know what? Those training videos for YouTube, they're awesome, Wallace. Awesome job so far. And I know you're not done. But what I've gotten so far in the first 5 videos is enough for me to know that what I need to start doing on YouTube. And I'm working toward that. Same with the other training in there. Okay, so let's talk about today's topic. Follow up versus follow through. Whenever we come to this situation and we're involved in this business and we want to be successful, we want to understand its follow through. I've started, and it's not a particular thing, it's a process. And after that process has been gone through all the way to the point where I've contacted a bunch of prospects and they have now become teammates, I'm still in follow through, and I will be in follow through with those teammates until we are exiting the planet, because it's a long-term 35, 40-year thing we're working on here. This isn't just one of those fly-by-night things. Yes, the company, there are companies that do things stupid, like steal somebody's downline, pull them out from underneath somebody, put them over somewhere else in somebody else's downline, and not tell those people that that person is no longer available because they booted them out for an unethical reason. There's things like that happen. But short of all of that yucky stuff that's in our industry, we're here. It's now. It is today, and we have an obligation. And our prospects are they don't even know it. Some of them don't even know it, but they're expecting us to show them our opportunity. However, we have to do it in the most functional way, or least dysfunctional manner as possible starting out. And the best way to do that is get with your upline leader. If it's not your sponsor, ask your sponsor who their sponsor is. Find upline. You can do it in the groups. It doesn't necessarily have to be your sponsor. You can ask questions on our forum on Facebook, the Total Takeover group. So follow through has to do with a total mindset that I am someone and I have to become someone else, and I will give myself no excuses. So that's basically all I have. If you have any questions, you can press *6 or comment. Follow the prompt. We are just a couple of minutes before the hour, and I get the feeling we're probably going to run over just a few minutes. So with that, ttoradio.info. I'm Andrew Morgan in San Marcos, Texas, and I'm going to turn it back over to whoever grabs the floor first.
Holy crap. This has been a great hangout. Holy. Maybe we should just cut it off here and then put it up for sale. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, Tracy, do you want to weigh in on this too?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I always do. You know me, Carl. I take notes. And Andrew, that was brilliant. Thank you. Awesome information. I applaud you. You really walked us through a whole part of the process to understand what it was. I loved what you had to say. We're calling the play for the team. It is. You can kind of look at it as a sporting event. I mean, look, we just went to the Super Bowl, for heaven's sakes. They call the play, and the team makes the play. You have to follow through for the play to execute, right? And I loved Eric Worre, what you said about Eric Worre. I love Eric Worre. He says, if you're in network marketing, act like it. Be proud of this industry. And I think that's where a lot of people have kind of got a little bit sideways in this industry because, maybe, hey, we've all been in the situation. I don't know anybody who's been in this industry who has not been in a situation where they've been subject to unethical companies, like you were saying about the downline thing, or they've, Carl said earlier about, whether they, their plan didn't work properly and they imploded. I don't think any one of us hasn't been immune to that. It's, the companies have let us down, whatever the case may be. We're network marketers. We're all about the people. And like you said, Andrew, I mean, don't prejudge people, for heaven's sakes. If you think, oh, I can't talk to people anymore, you know what? The best thing you can do is build your credibility. We did this on a previous hangout about building credibility, and the building credibility is being honest to people. If you know something isn't quite right, be truthful with your people. And Carl, what you did with Karen, I mean, that's building credibility. I mean, I get people all the time asking me questions. Are they directly related to me in the business? No. But you know what? I'm heartfelt about what I do. I bring value to the table. Every one of you bring value to the table. Sometimes you just have to determine what it is that you have. Maybe you've got great communication skills. Maybe you've got a little bit of technical skills. Maybe you've got some video skills. Whatever the case may be. Everybody has a skill that you can hone and bring that to table as value. And that's what we're here. And this is what we've done specifically with Total Takeover, is that we have developed a culture in here, and that is through Val's leadership, because we did this in a previous company, and unfortunately there was some stuff that went on there. However, truth, honesty, transparency, and we developed a culture of family. And that's exactly what we've done. We have a community of people, and the Facebook group actually proves that, because everybody's in there looking after each other. You know what? There's so many people, and there's thousands of people in there, from a database of over 130 some odd thousand people that have come there. Don't forget, there's people in different languages internationally as well. That's like an English-speaking one, and there's probably 20 odd groups that have developed outside of that as well. But this is the corporate one that started to develop. But at least everybody's in there. They're helping each other. They're assisting. They're asking questions, and people are in there answering questions and helping and being part of the team. And we're there. This industry is based on the relationship with people, like you said, Joan. I love the way that you use the analogy about the dating relationship. It's so very true. That whole structure of dating it's very similar to how we approach the relationships here. I'm not saying it's a dating site, you guys. Don't get me wrong. Like, Carol, you need to qualify it like you were qualifying that sponsorship jumping. No, 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 no. That is not what this is about.
Can I just add
Yes, Joe, go ahead.
My story? Okay. When my husband and I, before he died, we met, and a year later, Johnny came into our life as a friend. And I had known Johnny almost as long as I'd known my husband, except maybe for 14 months. He was like an uncle to the kids. He always came to visit us every year, and he always phoned. Whenever we had a trauma in our life, he was there for us. When Buck died, he was there through it all. He came to the funeral. He gave me money to help me with my bills. And about 18 months after Buck died, Johnny and I got married. Why did I marry him? Because I knew him, I liked him, I trusted him, and I had grown to love him, not in a romantic way, but in a brother, almost sister relationship. After everything settled down and we started to talk about building a life together, he was there through thick and thin, through helping me get over my feelings of hurt because of losing Buck. He was there for me through it all. We have been married almost 24 years. Do I regret any one of those years? Absolutely not. He stepped in and he took me by the hand as a friend to where I am today. That's what relationships are all about. And there's something that are so special in your life. So when you build a relationship with a network marketer by taking them by the hand, taking them through the steps to grow their business, this is something that is very, very worthwhile and precious, because that relationship will not be easily broken. Go back to you, Trace.
You know, Joan, that's very special, and I applaud both of you, because relationships, marriages are very difficult these days, which is not the exterior stimulus to help to break them down, but through that, your strength in your relationships has proven. I really do applaud to both of you. And you know, here's another, I just want to kind of expand a little bit on that, because here's something else, is through this industry, I have made the absolute best friends on this planet. You guys here sitting in the panel, for 3 of you. Val, I mean, we've become really great friends this last year or so. But people that I've met through the years of network marketing, had I not picked up the telephone, or they pick up the telephone to introduce themselves, or me introduce myself to them, those relationships would never, ever be today. And I've got some of the best friends on this planet that I have ever made in my life through this industry, who have been there through thick and thin, who we've bonded, and you know, we've gone through the trials and tribulations of this industry, but also through some private and personal things that have been there to help and assist and really grown these bonds. A lot of people I've never met face to face, although we're sitting here face to face. I feel like I've known you guys all my life. We're sitting in the same living room through the use of technology. I mean, what a wonderful era we're in right now, being able to share through video, Skype, and through these Google Hangouts. So people that don't know how to pick up the phone and talk to people are really missing out on so much. They're missing out on that opportunity of making someone who could be a lifelong friend through, you know, and enriching their lives in more ways than just making a sale. You got to realize that what the benefits to this industry is. The benefits are the relationships and the friends that you make along the way. I just wanted to expand on that, Joan. It was a beautiful story. And you know, I kind of wanted to go around this area before we got into that part of it. That, you know, to go back to the beginning about the follow-through part, is that, you know, in the era of technology that we are right now, there's so many ways to communicate with people. I mean, if you have an email, go onto Facebook, put it onto Facebook and search it. guaranteed you're going to find 99% of the time you're going to find them there. And then guess what? You can go over and private message them, make a friend request, and say, hey, by the way, I just sent you a friend request and blah blah blah, and you can start talking to them there. You opted in, and hey, how's it going? I see that you like fishing. Go and check their profile out. Make sure you know a little bit about this person. You know what? Hey, guess what? You're a skier. Awesome. I live in the Pacific Northwest here. I've got Whistler Blackcomb here, like a 2-hour drive. Get into their personal lives a little bit in the way that they feel like you're comfortable, like you say, know, like, and trust, Joan. You're absolutely right. And you don't go in there and hammer them with the opportunity and do this, do this, do this, do this. You know what? There's a timing, and wait for it. Make the conversation enjoyable. Enjoy people. Have the conversation and you enjoy people, right? So, anyways, Andrew, do we have anybody raising their hand yet?
I think we're doing a good job, Tracy, and we have been, because there's been a lot of people call and very few raising their hands. So that's an indication that we're doing our job very, very, very well. If I think that we're probably right at the end of the show. If you think so, nod your head. Joan, yeah, okay. I've enjoyed being on today. I enjoy being on these hangouts every day. I can't imagine my life now without them. It's just like a smartphone. The industry out there develops things now that we don't need, and we don't know that we need them until after we have them, and then we have to have them. We need them, and that's a lot of what happens with. I've noticed with this hangout here. I got to have it now. Wow, I'm blown away. Lots of information here. I want to encourage you to follow through. You filled out a data capture form, or you took a phone call, and somebody asked you, are you ready to get started? And you said yes. So it's time to follow through. That means changing everything about myself, everything about yourself, and becoming a network marketing professional. I'm Andrew Morgan in San Marcos, Texas. I'm a 33-year arborist, and I'm a 33-year network marketing professional. And I say that with full conviction because that's who I am. I love network marketing and creating just relationships. I have long-lasting relationships too. Where do we go from here? Tomorrow, Monday through Friday, we broadcast the show at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we want to encourage you to come and join us. You can find all the information you need for that at ttoradio.info. You get the info at ttoradio.info. I want you to remember something. It takes leaders with vision, like on this panel, to lead people with dreams. And let's participate in our total takeover venture the way we would want our personally sponsored to participate. Get back with the person that invited you to this show and get your follow-through on. I'm Andrew Morgan. Have a great day. See you next time.